Who are the highest earning MLB players in 2023? MLB moves millions of dollars to keep the sport's best athletes on the field. The MLB is one of the oldest sports leagues in the world and the oldest among the four majors in the United States. Over its 144 years, Major Legue Baseball has become the main pastime of the American family, with a calendar that runs from April to October and encompasses more than 160 matches in its regular season. However, one of the main characteristics of the MLB is the amount of money it moves, with multi-million contracts with sponsors and paying millions of dollars in salaries for the best athletes in the world in the modality. And speaking of salary, do you know who are the players with the highest earnings per season in baseball? No? So we'll tell you a little about the top 3 and present the list of the 10 highest paid athletes today. Who are the highest earning MLB players in 2022? According to the Associated Press, the average MLB player salary in 2022 is $4.41 million annually. It may even sound strange that the average is so below. It is clear that for me, it is a lot of the astronomical values that we hear so much about. That is, this happens because with each multi-million-dollar contract signed, there are countless players who receive salaries much lower than the big stars. Also, according to the Associated Press, the final salary average of 2022 will be boosted at the end of the 2022 regular season between the MLB and the MLBPA, and will raise the minimum wage. It is worth remembering that, in 2003, the minimum wage in the league was $300,000, reaching $400,000 in 2010, and $555,000 in 2019. In the current season, the value rose to $700,000, something around 3.6 million Brazilian reals. At least 64 athletes receive this minimum amount, while many others receive a percentage above that. Among them are Bobby Witt Jr., Kansas City Royals; Jeremy Pena, Houston Astros; Elvis Andrus, Chicago White Sox; Davis Peterson, New York Mets. Now that we know the bare minimum, I propose that we meet the 3 highest earning players in the MLB. Top 3 MLB salaries. Third place, Anthony Rendon, Los Angeles Angels. At number 3 on our MLB salary rankings is Los Angeles Angels third baseman Anthony Rendon. Rendon spent 7 years playing for the Washington Nationals, and in 2020 he tested the market, changing franchises and leagues, signing a 7-year contract and $324 million with the Angels, which leaves the player with earnings of approximately $36.571 million per contract year. In his career, Rendon has already earned more than $120 million, something around 617 million Brazilian reals. Second place, Mike Trout, Los Angeles Angels. Taking the silver medal is Mike Trout. Since arriving in the MLB in 2011, the talented outfielder has written his name in sports history, earning 10 All-Star Game, 2012-22, calls, 8 Silver Slugger Awards, 3 American League MVPs and 2 ASG MVPs, among many other achievements. In 2019, Trout signed the biggest contract in the history of North American sports at the time, agreeing to his contract for 12 years worth $430 million, giving an average of $36 million per contract year. At 31 years old, it is estimated that Trout has already earned around $198 million, 1 billion Brazilian reals, in 12 years of career. First place, Max Scherzer, New York Mets. The top of the podium belongs to Max Scherzer. In the 2021-2022 offseason, the veteran pitcher signed a 3-year deal with the New York Mets for $130 million, giving him an average salary of $43.33 million per season, the most lucrative contract per year of service. From the MLB. As of 2022, Scherzer is 10-4, 2.15 ERA, striking out 162 opponents. In his career, there were 428 matches played, 2,670.1 entries in the curriculum. In all, he has 200 wins and 101 losses, 3,182 strikeouts, and a 3.11 ERA. The pitcher has appeared in 6 All-Star games, won 3 Cy Young Awards and a World Series while with the Nationals. In addition, Scherzer earned $197 million, approximately 1 billion Brazilian reals, and 17 years playing for the Arizona Diamondbacks, Detroit Tigers, Washington Nationals, Los Angeles Dodgers, and New York Mets. Honorable mentions. Yes, I know you are wondering how the name of Fernando Tatis Jr. is not on the list, so let's kill that curiosity. Tatis Jr. signed with the San Diego Padres for 14 years and $340 million in 2021. However, his salary will progressively increase over the years of the contract. Thus, in 2022, the shortstop received a salary of $5.714 million. In 2023, when he returns from an 80-game suspension, his monthly earnings will be $7.714 million, coming in 2034 with just over $36 million. Okay. We'll talk about Shohei Ohtani. And no, we haven't forgotten about this MLB phenomenon. What happens is that Ohtani still has a rookie contract. That is, the Los Angeles Angels are profiting a lot from the athlete's performance. In 2018, the Japanese star earned a $2.315 million bonus for signing with the franchise, plus his salary was just $545,000. In 2019, the star's monthly earnings were $650,000. A season later, due to injuries and operations, Ohtani made only $259,000. However, at the end of the season, he renewed his contract, avoiding salary arbitration, signing for 2 years and $8.5 million, giving the star a salary of $3 million in 2021 and $5.5 million in 2022. After the last game of the 2022 season, Angels and Ohtani will discuss a new contract. After all, according to the rules, the athlete enters into salary arbitration again. In 2024, Ohtani becomes a free agent for the first time in his MLB career. Top 10 MLB salaries, yearly. 1. Max Scherzer, New York Mets, $43.333 million. 2. Mike Trout, Los Angeles Angels, $37.116 million. 3. Anthony Rendon, Los Angeles Angels, $36.571 million. 4. Jacob deGrom, New York Mets, and Garrett Cole, New York Yankees, $36 million. 6. Carlos Correa, Minnesota Twins, $35.1 million. 7. Steven Strasburg, Washington Nationals, and Nolan Arenado, St. Louis Cardinals, $35 million. 9. Francisco Lindor, New York Mets, $34.1 million. 10. Corey Seager, Texas Rangers, $33 million. Note: due to a 2-year suspension, Trevor Bauer no longer receives salary from the Dodgers during this period, otherwise he would be on the list. The amount would be $35.333 million. Highest earning athletes in the MLB. Some players are not on the list of the highest salaries of 2023, however, they own the highest total earnings in their careers in Major League Baseball. Are they? 1. Miguel Cabrera, Detroit Tigers, 20 seasons, $353 million. 2. Albert Pujols, St. Louis. Louis Cardinals, 23 seasons, $341 million. 3. Justin Verlander, Houston Astros, 18 seasons, $299 million. 4. Zach Greinke, Kansas City Royals, 19 seasons, $277 million. 5. Clayton Kershaw, Los Angeles Dodgers, 16 seasons, $268 million. 6. David Price, Los Angeles Dodgers, 15 seasons, $248 million. 7. Joey Votto, Cincinnati Reds, 18 seasons, $218 million. 8. Max Scherzer, New York Mets, 17 seasons, $197 million. 9. Mike Trout, Los Angeles Angels, 13 seasons, $196 million. 10. Adam Wainwright, St. Louis. Louis Cardinals, 20 seasons, $175 million. Athletes with the biggest MLB contracts. Now, if you are wondering what are the highest salaries ever signed by athletes and MLB franchises, follow the top 5 in the list below. 1. Mike Trout, of Angels, $426 million over 12 years. 2. Mookie Betts, of Dodgers, $365 million over 12 years. 3. Francisco Lindor, SS, Mets, $341 million over 10 years. 4. Fernando Tatis Jr., SS, Padres, $340 million over 14 years. 5. Bryce Harper, of Phillies, $330 million over 13 years.